How about a near zero risk investment that could pay a 9.6% annual return, has no fee to take money out early, avoids state and local income taxes, and has almost no limit on the amount you can invest? You may think it's too good to be true, but that's what the USI bonds have offered, as shown here on the Barron's website. We'll start by looking at the main features of Series I bonds and EE bonds in a beginner-friendly way. Then, in the next part, we'll look at their major pros and cons to help determine which is best for you. Before we start, this is not financial advice. The US Treasury Savings Program offers two main types of savings bonds, which are Series I bonds and Series EE bonds. They are government-backed investments designed for conservative savers, but they work in very different ways. At a high level, I bonds focus on protecting against rising prices, which is also called inflation protection. In contrast, EE bonds focus on guaranteed predictable growth. Basically, I bonds are built to help your money keep pace with rising prices, while EE bonds are designed to give you a clear long-term outcome if you hold them long enough. They are both backed by the US government, which makes them among the safest investments available. Essentially, the major difference is if you want to keep pace with inflation or have a guaranteed long-term outcome. So, what are Series EE bonds? They are traditional US savings bonds that earn a fixed interest rate when you buy them. Their defining feature is a built-in guarantee from the Treasury to double in value after 20 years. The doubling guarantee is what makes EE bonds unique. If the bond's stated interest rate is not high enough to naturally reach double its original value after 20 years, the Treasury makes up the difference. So, even if the stated rate looks low on paper, the long-term guarantee is really the main benefit. Key features of EE bonds include the following. Firstly, they offer a fixed interest rate only, with guaranteed doubling after 20 years and a maximum maturity of 30 years. Secondly, the minimum purchase is $25 and the annual purchase limit is $10,000 per person. They cannot be traded to other investors through a secondary market and must be held for at least 1 year. Lastly, beware that cashing out early within 5 years means you lose 3 months of interest. Next, let's look at what Series I bonds are. They are US savings bonds issued by the Department of the Treasury and give both safety and inflation protection. Inflation reduces what your money can buy over time. A yield of 3% may sound attractive, but if inflation is running at 4%, the investor is falling behind in real terms. That's why inflation-linked Treasury securities, such as I bonds, are popular as they protect against inflation by changing the interest rate over time. What makes them unique is how returns are calculated. Instead of paying a single fixed rate like a traditional bond, they combine a fixed interest rate set at issuance that doesn't change. In addition to the fixed rate, they also have a variable rate which is adjusted every 6 months based on the consumer price index. Unlike EE bonds, I bonds do not guarantee that your money will double in 20 years. Instead, their purpose is to help preserve purchasing power by adjusting returns when inflation rises. So, rather than promising a fixed long-term result, they are designed to respond to changes in the economy. But how exactly do they work? Firstly, you must be aware that I bonds cannot be bought or sold to other people in the secondary market. Once purchased, they must be held with the Treasury until you cash them out, which is also called redemption. They earn interest at a rate that combines the fixed rate and the inflation rate. The inflation rate is updated twice every 12 months in May and November, based on changes in CPI as we went through earlier. The fixed rate is also set by the Treasury every 6 months for new purchases. Once assigned to your bond, it remains constant for up to 30 years. Next, let's look at the composite rate formula. The return on an I bond is calculated using the fixed rate plus the 6-month inflation rate multiplied by 2. You then add that figure to the fixed rate multiplied by the semi-annual inflation rate. Don't worry if that sounds complicated. You simply need to know the basic principle behind the formula, which is that even if inflation turns negative, the composite rate cannot fall below 0%. That built-in minimum level is one of the most attractive features of I bonds because it guarantees you won't lose money. To help summarize the key features of I bonds, we can look at the following information. Firstly, they give a fixed rate plus an inflation-adjusted interest rate. Secondly, the inflation rate is updated twice a year, every May and November. The maximum maturity is 30 years with a 20-year original term plus a 10-year extension. Think of an I bond as a 30-year savings agreement with the government that has 2 phases. The first phase allows you to cash out anytime after the first 12 months, but there is a 3-month interest penalty if you cash out before 5 years. Then, after 20 years, the bond matures, meaning it has reached the end of its term. After that, if you have not already cashed out by year 20, it automatically goes into a 10-year extension. Basically, you are aiming to invest for up to 30 years, although the government only guarantees it'll work for 20 years plus an optional 10-year extension. Next, the minimum purchase is $25, and the annual purchase limit is $10,000 per person, plus $5,000 through a tax refund. Like EE bonds, they cannot be traded. Again, just like EE bonds, they must be held for at least 1 year, and if sold within 5 years, it triggers a 3-month interest penalty. I-bonds are especially useful when investors are worried that inflation will reduce the real value of cash savings. They are designed around inflation protection. Their returns change over time, making them more rewarding during inflationary periods but less predictable overall. If inflation rises sharply, I-bonds become much more attractive because their variable rate adjusts upward. However, if inflation stays low for many years, EE bonds may look better because they are guaranteed to double. Next, let's briefly compare the return profiles. Firstly, EE bonds offer stable, predictable returns. They are best suited to investors who can hold them for at least 20 years and want a guaranteed outcome regardless of economic conditions. Meanwhile, I-bonds offer returns that change. They can perform very well during periods of high inflation, but may do worse during periods of low inflation. That means the experience of owning them depends much more on the level of inflation over time. Their return path is less predictable. Sometimes they will look excellent, and other times they may produce only small returns. Next, we'll look at the major benefits and risks of each. Firstly, inflation protection is the main reason investors buy them. Their variable rate keeps pace with rising prices, which makes them especially attractive when inflation is high. Secondly, I-bonds have a minimal default risk because the US government backs them. They are a very low-risk place to hold a portion of savings. Lastly, the interest is exempt from state and local taxes, while federal taxes can be delayed until redemption. The tax deferral can improve compounding returns over time. Next, we'll look at the main risks. Firstly, if inflation stays low, I-bond returns can be low. In those periods, they may not look much better than other conservative cash-like options. Secondly, the changing rate means future returns are unknown. That makes long-term planning less precise compared with a fixed return product like an EE bond. Next, you cannot cash out in the first year. An early redemption within 5 years incurs a penalty of 3 months interest. So, even though they are safe, they are not easy to transfer. And lastly, annual limits restrict how much money can be allocated. That makes I-bonds useful for smaller portfolios but less practical for investors with large amounts of money. Next, we'll look at the main benefits and risks with EE bonds. Firstly, the biggest feature is the guaranteed doubling after 20 years. That gives investors a clear long-term target and removes much of the uncertainty around final value. Secondly, because the return structure is fixed, EE bonds are appealing to investors who want certainty and dislike changing rates. They work well for people who prefer a set-and-forget savings instrument. Next, just like I-bonds, they are backed by the US government, which makes them extremely safe from credit risk. And lastly, they share the same tax benefits with no state or local tax, and federal tax can be deferred until redemption. Also, there are possible education-related federal tax benefits. Those features make them attractive to tax-conscious investors. If you're learning something new, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing so you don't miss out on more videos like this. Next, we'll look at the main risks of EE bonds. Firstly, if inflation rises significantly, returns may be much lower than expected, even as the overall value continues to increase. Secondly, it requires a long-term commitment, as the main benefit is only if you hold for 20 years. Next, you have limited growth potential. They are safe, but they generally offer lower returns than higher risk assets, like stocks or mutual funds. That makes them more suitable for protecting your money rather than growing it. Lastly, just like I-bonds, they cannot be traded and come with a 1-year period during which you can't access the money and a 5-year early redemption penalty window. So the safety comes at the cost of flexibility. Despite their differences, they each share several major advantages. Both bonds offer good tax treatment compared with many other low-risk savings options. That can make a meaningful difference for investors in high-tax states or for those using them as part of an education savings plan. Secondly, the US government covers both. so default risk is extremely low. And lastly, they are straightforward savings tools. There is no need to manage trading, market timing, or credit risk, which makes them appealing for conservative investors who want something simple and reliable. Next, we'll look at the shared risks. Firstly, both have an early withdrawal fee, also known as a redemption penalty, as they must be held for at least 1 year, and redeeming within 5 years results in a 3-month interest penalty. Secondly, they are not suitable for short-term investments, as the holding rules make them better suited to long-term planning. Next, they each have annual limits on the amount you can buy, meaning neither is ideal for very wealthy investors. Finally, neither can be bought and sold like regular bonds or stocks, which reduces flexibility. Once you buy them, you are mostly committed to holding until redemption. Next, we'll briefly look at how to buy each type. I-bonds and EE can only be purchased through the Treasury Direct website. To buy them online, you need to create an account, provide your personal and banking details, select your investment amount, and confirm the transaction. They are no longer available to buy in paper form from financial institutions, so you will need to buy them online. So, which is best for you? Well, the answer depends on many factors. However, I'll give you most of the major ones to consider. I-bonds are better suited for investors focused on protecting against inflation without taking on risk from stocks or other more volatile assets. They also appeal to those who prefer stability over flexibility. I-bonds make the most sense for investors focused on preserving the value of their money or purchasing power. If your biggest worry is that inflation will quietly erode the value of your savings, I-bonds are probably the better fit. However, you can choose EE bonds if you want guaranteed long-term growth, predictable returns, a set and forget investment with a guaranteed return over 20 years. EE bonds are better suited to investors who value simplicity and certainty. Meanwhile, using both allows you to balance inflation protection with I-bonds and guaranteed long-term growth with EE bonds. That combination can be appealing if you want both flexibility against inflation and predictability over time. In that sense, the two types do not always need to compete, as they can complement each other. Series 1 bonds and Series EE bonds are closely related, but they serve different purposes. Both offer very low risk, useful tax advantages, and US government backing. The main choice is whether you value inflation protection more or predictable certainty more. For many investors, the best answer is not always choosing one over the other, but understanding how each fits into a conservative savings strategy. You'll want to combine I-bonds or EE bonds with gilts or treasury bills, as they give diversification and are great investments. Therefore, you should watch this video next, which tells you all you need to know about gilts versus treasury bills. If you found value from the video, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing, because it helps. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there.